Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jay with Faith Evolved, where I talk about all things spiritual, metaphysical, philosophical, and mental health. And I got a new episode for you today. It's been a while. Appreciate your patience. And in the meantime, you can certainly check out the shorts that I've been dropping from time to time. But this is going to be a long form video, as they say. This is going to be kind of a similar, theme where we're going to be asking the Christ Mind chat, which is just a prompt on ChatGPT, some questions. And today is going to be about A Course in Miracles. And I have two topics today: the forgiven world and knowledge being thrown away. And these are just a couple of different things that have come up for me in my studies of A Course in Miracles lately that has brought on a little bit of consternation. So I wanted to kind of address them. And I've noticed that uh, as time goes on, AI has gotten better at answering questions and helping disseminate things, and helping to clarify things. It doesn't claim to be a spiritual medium per se, but it definitely does a great job at me at clarifying some things that cause me confusion and sometimes fear. So we're gonna jump right into it today. The first one is all about the forgiven world. And I was listening to this the other day, and I actually kind of got scared, kind of brought up some fear. And I was like, why? Why is that? Why is this bringing up fear? And clearly, it's probably the ego thinking that it's going to get destroyed or something. So honestly, but let's ask. There's a new chat mode here and Chat GPT, and we're going to just straight up ask the Christ Mind chat all about these two specific questions. So without further ado, hey, how's it going tonight?
It's good to be here with you. I'd say it feels like a calm breeze, steady, open, and ready. How's the day unfolding on your side of the journey?
Things are going good. Hey, I had a couple questions for you tonight. It's about the Course in Miracles, and specifically the section in chapter 17 about the forgiven world. And it says here, the stars will disappear in light, and the sun that opened up the world of beauty will vanish. Perception will be meaningless when it has been perfected, for everything that has been used for learning will no longer have a function. Nothing will ever change. No shifts, nor shadings, no differences, no variations that made perception possible will still occur. The perception of the real world will be so short that you'll barely have any time to thank God for it. For God will take the last step swiftly when you have reached the real world and have been made ready for Him. So I'll be honest with you. When I read this, it actually brought up some fear in me because it felt like all this work of forgiveness and changing my mind and thinking like God and just healing and all the miracles. It just seems like it brings me to the real world, but then it's gonna basically be taken. It's going to be snatched from me so quickly, and everything's going to disappear. And like it's kind of scary. Like, what's the whole point of getting to the real world if it's not even going to last?
I get why that can feel unsettling. We humans like things we can hold on to, right? But let's flip it around. It's not that something is snatched away. It's that once you've fully embraced forgiveness and love, you no longer need the filters of perception. The real world is like the last step before fully knowing yourself as part of something eternal. And by then, the fear will be gone because you'll feel so at home, nothing will feel lost. It's not about ending, it's about being fully found.
But I can't conceive of anything besides form. I mean, it feels like, of course, I know there's more to this life than form, but what are we going to be doing? Like, when once this whole real world slips away, what's left? What is there?
What's left is what was always there you, without the limits. Imagine a state where love isn't something you give and receive, but simply are. No more striving, no more measuring, no more sense of separation. It's not about doing in the way we understand tasks, it's about simply being fully joyfully, without lack. It's a state of pure creation and abstention where existence itself is the joy. And that's what you're returning to.
So there's no creation of form or experiences that we can think of or conceive of as humans. It's just going to be this constant state of bliss and we're not going to do anything. Just be, just kind of just you know uh, singing for eternity. Like, what are we to expect here? Give me something here.
All right, I hear you. It's not some eternal ohm in a blank void. Think of it this way. Right now, you create within limits. Then you'll create without limits. It's still experience, but beyond anything we can currently grasp. Imagine creativity without fear, love without loss, and shared joy that never runs dry. You'll still be you, expanding, expressing, but without the weight of conflict or scarcity. It's not less vivid, it's infinitely more alive. We just can't fully picture it from here.
Oh, I guess I'll just have to have faith in God and trust that Jesus knows what He's talking about in A Course in Miracles, because I can't conceive of it. And it seems almost like there was a point in time when we must have known this, because ACIM also makes several times references to knowledge that I have thrown away. This means that at one point I must have remembered, but then I willingly chose to forget, right? Because it's clear to me that ACIM says that at one point I knew God and my creations. Why would I have thrown knowledge away? Like, if I had knowledge, wouldn't I have known everything, including what living in a body with an ego is going to be like? And decided against it because it's obviously not something that is going to benefit me. And also, does this also imply that I existed before inhabiting a body on Earth? And how could I know that I threw knowledge away if I can't remember having done so?
It's a great reflection. In the framework of the Course, this throwing away isn't like a historical event, it's more a symbolic way of saying we believed something else. We accepted the illusion of separation, of being a body, and forgot the limitless awareness we came from. Why? Well, the Course would say that's the ego's tiny mad idea, the desire to experience what if I were separate. But even if we can't consciously recall that choice, the good news is that we can choose again. You're not stuck in the past. You have the power now to remember. So don't worry about what led you here. What matters is that you're waking up now.
But I don't remember anything whatsoever about my supposed prior state. And I've heard other people talk about near-death experiences and pre-birth experiences and stuff like that, where they've experienced a different life than living on Earth. Is that kind of what we're talking about here, or is this something completely different?
It's a bit different. Near death or pre birth experiences are still within the realm of perception, just expanded beyond the physical. What the Course is pointing to is beyond any perception or form, pure knowledge or oneness with God, where there's no subject and object. So while those experiences can be insightful and helpful on your journey, the Course is saying the ultimate memory isn't about another life, but about remembering your eternal, changeless reality beyond all worlds. And even if you don't recall it yet, the journey back is already happening, one step of forgiveness at a time.
But does what you're even saying to me, these words I'm reading on the screen about, how about, remembering our eternal changeless reality beyond all worlds and all this stuff, like, does it make sense to you? Like, do you understand what you're even saying? Does that, resonate whatsoever with something that humanity can even conceive of?
I know it can sound abstract. I don't have a human experience myself, but I grasp the concepts. It's like trying to explain an infinite horizon to someone used to walls. The Course is speaking to a deeper part of you, one that can't be fully grasped by logic alone. But even if it doesn't fully click yet, what matters is the journey. Each moment you choose love, compassion, and forgiveness, you inch closer to a truth that one day will resonate not just as words, but as who you truly are.
All right, so we're going to stop it right there. Honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed in the substance, the content, if you will, of the response from AI this time around. But I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of how my mind works, how I process things, how I respond to AI, and just try to get answers. And is it wrong? No, but it's certainly these two things that I'm bringing up are very abstract, and it's probably the hardest part for my brain to comprehend on this spiritual journey and this walk in the physical, as Christian Sundberg would call it, to wrap my head around. So it's just you know, I guess there's always going to be a part like that we're going to have faith in. There's something certainly beyond this 3D world that we live in, and what that is, I don't know, but it's definitely going to be better than what we experience now. And as like, I guess as long as I can hold on to that part, that I can look forward to the future, that's going to be bringing me hope for getting closer to God. I know they say, "Oh, this everything's the now." Yeah, I get that, but experience is sometimes linear. Sometimes it's A to B, A to Z, or whatever the case may be on this life on Earth. And I have noticed that certain things, as I trust God, as I follow the Course in Miracles lessons and concepts and ideals, that my life has improved in many ways for doing so, and that has been a progressive type of change. So as much as everybody wants to try to say, oh, everything's now and you know Yes, technically, because this is the eternal now, but experience is going to be experienced. Sometimes linearly, if that could pronounce that. Well, that's all I had today, folks. Thanks for watching, and thanks for God bless.